Hello, this is Darren, and I'm about to install my HVMP handlebar weights on my 2012 Triumph Bonneville. I hope you don't have as much problem as I did getting the stock end caps off. I've actually replaced the screws already. When I took mine off, the left side bolt head just stripped right out, and as it turned out, I had to end up drilling the head of the screw off, which left me with something looking like this. If you look inside there, you'll notice that the stock handlebar end caps are held in with a plug that is glued in. Unfortunately, when they glued that plug in, I believe they glued the screw in too. I just used a propane torch. When the screw got red hot, I was able to turn it out. And then that allowed me to just unthread it. Of course, I used a pair of pliers to get those out, but it came out. If they glued yours in, you may have the same issue. Before I hit that with a propane torch though, I did take off the handlebar grip. That's really simple to do. You can take it off with using compressed air, and there's plenty of online videos to show you how to do that. So I've prepped the handlebar end weights with some standard Teflon tape. So this takes up any slot from the ID of the handlebar to the OD of the bar weight. With that on there, you can actually feel just a little bit of tension as it goes in. I'll actually hold in there in place. And before I put them in, I want to put just a little bit of thread lock on our screws. So I'm going to put some Permatex blue thread lock. We don't want too much. We don't want them to stick in there again. We don't have to drill them out and hit them with a blowtorch again. So I've added my blue thread locker just to the tip. You do not need that much. In fact, the more you have, the longer it takes for it to set up, and sometimes it doesn't even fully cure. So I've got my screw, I've got my lock collar. This is a 4mm screw going into the stock handlebar end cap. It's only about a 1/2 inch long, and it's also made out of aluminum. We're not going to tighten this too tight. I would estimate the correct torque should be about 14 to 16 foot-pounds max. This is a small screw. You don't want to strip that aluminum. With the thread lock and the fact that the bar end weight actually inserts into the handlebar, you're pulling all your tension in through this, and you're not carrying any load through the screw. So the screw does not have to have that much tension through it. Well, there's one side done. Looks very nice. Now we're back over to the other side. One other thing about the Teflon tape, what it'll help do is prevent any moisture from getting inside the handlebar area, possibly corroding. Even though stainless steel doesn't rust, you can get some galvanic corrosion going between the two metals. When you're installing on the throttle side, make sure that you don't have any Teflon tape coming out. If you do, you might end up sticking your throttle, and that's something that you don't want to do, is having your throttle lock open when you're not expecting it. And last but not least, I would turn the bar as far as they'll go and make sure that you're not contacting the tank, because the last thing you want to do if you have handlebars with a large pullback, you don't want it to bang into the tank just because you added an extra inch or two to it. So check that before you remove any protection. Mine looks great, plenty of room. You should be able to do this in less than 10 minutes. These HVMP handlebar weights look great. They match up. They're well supported. They're not going to be snapping off. One issue you would choose the HVMP handlebar weights over just a generic end weight that is just held by the screw is the fact that the loads can now be transferred from the weight into the handlebar, and it's not just sitting on the screw. Some of these other aftermarket ones will just only hold tension through the screw, and since this is a 4mm screw, it's very small. I didn't want to drill out the plug that's inside here and put in a bigger screw. I wanted to keep the stock handlebar plug. These weights allow me to do it.